Hello, my name is Erin, and I'm the Public Relations Officer and the Editorial Representative of the Southern Branch of the Irish Patchwork Society. In 2016, the Southern Branch of the Irish Patchwork Society decided to focus on education, in particular newer patchworkers. In this video, I'll be talking about how to improve your accuracy, especially in sewing a 1/4 of an inch. So why do you need to sew an accurate 1/4 inch seam? Well, the reason for this is that constructing the subunits of your blocks together, if you don't have a consistent and accurate 1/4 inch seam, those subunits, once you put them all together, may not line up all together very easily or very neatly. And if you have an accurate 1/4 inch, this will improve the outcome of your blocks and then ultimately the outcome of your quilt. So to do this 1/4 inch seam test, I have cut 3 pieces. These are 2.5 inch wide by 3, I believe it's 3.5 inch. It might be 4.5 inch. The length doesn't really matter. It's mainly the width that I'm primarily concerned with now. I've cut 3 of this blue color here, and I've cut 3 of this yellow color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 blocks, hopefully one that's accurate so you can see how it looks, and then one that's not accurate. So say my 1/4 inch seam is a little wide or something. So we shall get started. Okay. So you'll notice that I have this piece of washi tape here on my throat plate. It's just some washi tape I picked up from IKEA. And the reason I have this on is because I found that my throat plate does not have quite the most accurate 1/4 inch seam. So I put this down and then I use this actual tape marking to line up my blocks when I sew. One thing that you can do before you do any sewing to test and see how your 1/4 inch mark is on your throat plate is to put down an actual ruler underneath your presser foot, and I just try and do my best to line it up, and then I drop my foot so it kind of holds that ruler in place, and then compare it to the actual marking on your throat plate. You'll see that it lines up to this tape, but that's because I've done this measurement before. So I will sew one of the 1/4 inch seam test blocks with the tape, and then I'll pull the tape off and sew it using the measurements on the throat plate. So putting your fabrics, well, it doesn't really matter because this is just a test block, but I'm going to put my fabrics right side together and line them up. And I'm not much of a pinner, so I'm just going to leave this unpinned because it's a short length, short seam. And I'm doing my best to keep these lined up. And then I use the thread cutter on my machine and trim away any excess threads. And then I'm not going to iron this yet. I'm just going to open this up and sew the other side. I'll iron this at the end. And again, I'm just going to do the same of lining up those edges, putting it under the presser foot, making sure to keep only the 2 layers that I want sewn together under the presser foot. Sew my seam. So that is that finished block. So what I'm going to do now is just pull up this tape because it's just about time to replace it. You'll see that 1/4 inch marking line is right here, and my tape does extend, when I actually have the tape down, it does extend over just a bit. So we'll just line this up, and I'm leaning out of the way, and I'm finding it's kind of hard to sew like that. Keep things straight. So there's one. And then we'll sew these together. Okay. So let's go press these. So here we've got the sample that was sewn using the 1/4 inch mark on my throat plate. And if we bring our ruler over here, I'm just going to line this 2 up to one side. And if we look over here, you'll see that it's nearly 1/8 of an inch off. And that's pretty significant. When we take the component that I stitched together by actually using my ruler and measuring out what exactly 1/4 inch is, when I line this up, it is exactly 2 inches. So it's very important to double check that throat plate measurement marking because it could be quite off. So if you calculate with this one, so say I had like 3 or 4 subcomponents of a block that were all 1/8 of an inch off. Once you sewed 4 of those together, if all of them are off 1/8 of an inch, then that block is going to be off of 1/2 of an inch, which is really significant. If each block is off 1/2 of an inch over a quilt that's maybe 10 blocks wide, that would be over 5 inches, or that would be about 5 inches. So it can be pretty significant. So hopefully that this has helped you visualize accuracy a little bit easier.